Okay, we are back. Gonna give this a second chance. And for whatever reason, it seems like the video quality is not streaming in top notch. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. We're just gonna keep going. All right, let me see what is going on here. Gonna do some behind the scenes fixing. Let's see. Output, buffering, auto detect. I have no idea. That's okay. That is okay. Let's see. All right. Wow, I'm not really sure why. Not sure why the output is so choppy. Let's see. That is, okay, let's see. Okay, Dee, thanks for being here. So what I'm trying to figure out as I'm looking at the video, my image is very choppy and pixelated. Does it look pixelated on your end? Let me know. And if it doesn't, I'll just go ahead and keep going because I am sort of pressed for time. Okay, so video, what is that? Video and audio is good. Okay, all right. The moment it becomes ungood, please do let me know, Dee. It's weird because I'm looking at the image of me and it is really choppy and pixelated. Okay, but I'll take your word for it. All right, so what I want to do right quick before we get started is I would like to share this on social media. So that's what I'm going to do. So please bear with me and also join in with me and let's share this on social media as well. So let me go ahead and, so just bear with me one moment and then we will get going. Let's share this on social media as well. Okay. So let me go ahead and, so just bear with me one moment and then we will get going. Let's share this on social media as well. I don't know why. It just seems like my image is coming. So just bear with me one moment. Not so clear. Let's share this on social media as well. I don't know why. It just seems like my image is coming. So just bear with me. Distracted me, but that's okay. Let's share this on. All right. I have one camera that seems to be. All right. Wait a minute. No, I'm looking at the distracted me, but that's okay. Let's share this on. All right. Okay. I have one camera that seems to be. All right. Wait a minute. No, I'm looking at the distracted me, but that's okay. Let's share this on. All right. Okay. I have one camera that seems to be. All right. Wait a minute. No, I'm looking at the distracted me, but that's okay. Let's share this on. All right. Okay. I have one camera that seems to be. All right. Wait a minute. No, I'm looking at the distracted me. So I'm not sure why it's the second video. I have one coming out with me being pixelated. All right. Wait a minute. But so I'm not sure why it's the second video. I'm just going to. I have one coming out. I'm going to let that go and not look at it. Just going to let that go and not look at it. Have to mute stream. I'm not following you. What do you mean by that? Let's see. Okay, how's that? Audio? Okay, I think there's audio now, right? Is there audio? Let's see. Oops. All right, because it'll be quicker if I type that in because there is a delay. All right. I can't tell. All right, hold on a second. All set. Okay. You know, there are some days when things do not, flow properly or what we would like to think of as properly. And patience can be the key, and perseverance, and sometimes stopping and starting again. Okay, so we are here, and thank you everyone for joining in. And I do not have YouTube up. I only have the YouTube chat up, so I have no idea what the video looks like on YouTube. So I'm just going to leave it there. So welcome everyone to this space, to this place, to this sacred space. I thank you so much for being here. I'm Tamu and Ngina, Priestess Heart, and I love each and every one of you. We are humans on this incredible journey that we have no idea what's going on in this fishbowl, but here we are. And we're just going to love each other and do the best that we can. And hopefully strive to live our life in a way so that when we are on our deathbed, we can say we gave it our best shot for the most part. Okay, so let's take a nice deep centering breath and welcome us into this sacred space. Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome Divine L. Welcome Cupcake, the Cupcake Gratitude Show. That name sounds familiar. And I think, was Pavel here? Oh, okay. Queen Potato. Queen Potato is here. And hopefully later I'll remember to go back and try to change the audio. And I mean, not the audio, but to cut out the earlier part of the video, which looks probably about 7 minutes of trying to get everything in order. Okay, so I'm going to do a reading from the Tao Te Ching. Let me put my handy dandy spectacles on. Okay. So we're going to look at 59 in the Tao Te Ching. 59, staying on the way. In looking after your life and following the way, gather spirit early, and so redouble power, and so become invulnerable. Invulnerable, unlimited, you can do what you like with material things, but only if you hold to the mother of things will you do it for the long. Have deep roots, a strong trunk. Live long by looking long. And that was the Tao Te Ching as translated by Ursula Le Guin, who is also the author who wrote the book series Earthsea, which I think there was a mini-series dedicated to it on Sci-Fi Channel. Used to be my favorite channel. Welcome, Pavel. And that was number 59. I love the way pages the sound of pages turning in a book. So next we're looking at a translation of the Tao Te Ching by John C.H. Wu. In governing a people and in serving heaven, there is nothing like frugality. To be frugal is to return before straying. To return before straying is to have a double reserve of virtue. To have a double reserve of virtue is to overcome everything. To overcome everything is to reach an invisible height. Only he who has reached an invisible height can have a kingdom. Only he who has got the mother of a kingdom can last long. This is the way to be deep-rooted and firm planted in the Tao, the secret of long life and lasting vision. So from what I just read there, it seems like the mother is key. The mother is key to everything. So we probably have to contemplate, what does that mean? What does that mean? The mother of all things. The mother, honoring the mother. The mother is first. The mother is always number one, because it is the mother. It is through the gateway of the mother that we enter into the physical realm. There's no other way to do it. So we are on hexagram number 40 in the YiJing, hexagram number 40, deliverance. Deliverance. And let's see. What kind of job I can do to clean my glasses off. So hexagram number 40, and we're looking at Ma Padma Devi's the Tao Oracle. And the key words are, let's see, let's put that there. I'm going to meet him later. So that is Bagua, thunder, and water. The key words are release, relief, a fresh approach, liberation from obstruction, feeling, finding a solution, exhilaration. And I love the image. You see, it looks like a man reaching up into the heavens. It's raining, it's lightning. But if you look down at his feet, he's standing on very parched soil, parched, dry, cracked ground. So this hexagram has thunder over water. So we're going to look at the water first. And I just made the correlation. So the water hexagram, the water bagua, you can see it right here, is pretty much the inverse of the fire bagua. And I think after all of this time, it's my first time being cognizant of this fact. So the fire bagua is two masculine lines encasing a feminine line. And the water bagua is two feminine lines encasing a masculine line. So water, great depths, being submerged into the depths, strong movement or momentum, the moon, lunar forces, exercise caution, potential for danger, profundity, the occulted, the esoteric, unseen terrestrial energies. The direction is north. The season, yellow path, cardinal winter. Season, Lo Shun 9 halls, spring equinox. Life aspect, career trajectory, and life path. Medically related to hair, ear, kidney, bladder, bones, marrow, blood, bodily fluids, lower abdomen, stagnant toxins, bacteria, viruses, phobias, and fears. So basically, the reason why Benabel Wynn adds these different correspondences. So if you're meditating on certain areas, say for instance, you're having issues with your hearing or kidney or hair or whatever, or for your chakra, the solar plexus, wanting to connect with the archetype of the pilgrim or the seeker, you would engage the Bagua, the energy of water. So the animal is the pig or the tortoise, the chakra, the solar plexus, the archetype, the pilgrim or the seeker, the immortal Li Ti Guai, patron of healers, medical doctors, physicians, invoked for helping the poor and downtrodden. And then for fire, thunder, for thunder, we have a masculine line on the bottom and stacked by 2 feminine lines. So 2 yang, 1 yang line and 2 yin lines to shake or arouse, inciting movement, taking the initiative, excitation, revolution, division, impetus, catalyst, stimulation, impulse. Wood. The direction is east. The season, summer solstice or cardinal autumn. Life aspect, family, ancestry. And this is for thunder. Medically, foot, legs, tendon, gallbladder, liver, sensory, motor system, sympathetic nervous system, physical pain. The chakras, the throat chakra, the animal, the dragon, the archetype, the emperor, the immortal. Kao, Guao, Ju, Joe, patron of nobles and aristocracy. So we're going to look at, let's see. There we go. We're going to first look at Professor Hong's direct literal translation of this Bagua, which he calls it letting loose. So Benabel Wynn translates it as redemptive, deliverance, release of tension. And Hong translates it as letting loose. The Southwest bodes well. If there is nowhere to go, you had better return. If there is somewhere to go, you had better make haste. And we start with the water and working our way up to thunder. No troubles. Getting 3 foxes in the hunt. Finding a yellow arrowhead. Good omen. Riding in a loaded cart. Attracting robbers. Omen of difficulty. The net you set was loosened. Punish your friends when they come. Whoa. The net, let's see. The gentleman loosened the rope. Good for him. The common folks got the punishment. The Duke aimed at an eagle from atop a high wall. He got it. Everything goes well. I like that. That language is very direct and to the point, does not beat around the bush. It states what it needs to state. And so we're going to look at Benabel Wynn's translation of this hexagram. And I just had the page. When your endeavor has not been completed, do not procrastinate. Bring it to completion. When your endeavor has been completed, A prompt return to stability will bring you good fortune. Do not bask in the afterglow of glory. Go straight back to work. What you contemplate doing, proceed with it. You will outsmart even the smart. You hunt rather than run. Sever ties with those who bring you sorrow. Let me read that one again. Sever ties with those who bring you sorrow. Even, 2,000 years ago, people were having drama in their lives with those closest to them. It was like, all right, see ya. Everything to the left. In your endeavor, you encounter naysayers. Cut yourself loose from their hold over you. The untying of a knot, the unraveling of a contemplation. All right, let me do this. Okay. So that was Benebell Wynn's translation. And let me put my ringer on silent so we won't be disturbed again. Okay. Heish, deliverance. And this is from Brian Brown Walker's translation of the YiJing. The hexagram, signals the beginning of a deliverance from danger, tensions, and difficulties. The YiJing instructs you here on both the cause of deliverance and how you must act in order to fully benefit from it. Deliverance is always caused by a change in our attitude. That's interesting. So deliverance in this aspect isn't something that someone does to us or causes to come about necessarily in the physical realm. But here we're reading that deliverance is always caused by a change in our attitude, a way of looking at things differently. Sort of reminds me of the hangman card, the change in attitude, a new way of looking at things. This is the card that came up for us again today, just as it did the last time I pulled a group card. The higher power uses conflicts and obstacles to teach us lessons that we refuse to learn in an easier way. But they only darken our doorstep until we have acknowledged the lesson. So long as we ignore or resist difficulty, it remains our constant companion. Let me read that again. So as long as we ignore or resist difficulty, it remains our constant companion. As soon as we accept its presence as a sign that some self-correction is needed, our deliverance begins. Truly, the only way to dispel trouble and regain peace of mind is to change our attitude. The YiJing also teaches us that we have several responsibilities once our deliverance begins. The first is to forgive the misdeeds of others. The image of the hexagram is that of a powerful rainstorm washing away what is unclean. And there we go. We have that right there. Ma Padma Devi's image. Let me go back to that. This then is a time to clean every slate and begin anew, meeting others halfway in gentleness and patience. Next, we are advised to restore our inner balance and see that it is maintained. Deliverance offers us a return to equanimity, and we must avail ourselves of the opportunity conscientiously. Finally, we are counseled not to try to force progress, even though the time is beneficial. If we have truly changed our attitude, we have become detached, innocent, modest, and accepting. In this state, we allow progress to unfold naturally, according to the will of the sage or the higher self. So there you go. That was from Brian Brown Walker's. Here you go. And let's see, last but not least, here's my book. Welcome, everyone. Okay, so let me get that. That's a little stuff behind there. Here we go. So our 64 Faces of Awakening, that goes along with the YiJing, the Wisdom Keepers Inner Guidebook. And we're looking at resolve. So let's bring his beautiful face up here and take a look. And the only readings that I'm doing today is the hexagram, the YiJing. If you would like to schedule a private reading with me, a tarot reading or YiJing reading, you can check out my website for more information. So there you go. Nice symbolism. I love that. Almost looks like a Dharma wheel, although I think that has more spokes. So we're just looking at the symbolism. You have a cat there right on his nose bridge. That reminds me of the ancient Kemetic goddess Bast. And those piercing eyes. All right, so resolve, number 44. Resolve. The 40th gift of resolve is about becoming adept at giving to yourself. Ultimately, it is about the deep physical relaxation. The gift is resolve, the shadow is exhaustion, and the siddhi, divine will. And we're going to read his wisdom story. I was born into a family with spiritual and artistic tradition that went back thousands of years. But as a boy, I was stolen from my parents and forced into slavery. My master had nothing but contempt for me. He saw and treated me like an animal. I survived by giving myself tirelessly without complaint. When beaten for not working hard enough, I worked harder. Because of my disobedience, because of my obedience and unusual strength, I was given increasing amounts of responsibility, thus stress. Eventually, my stomach started to burn. My digestive system shut down. I got so sick and exhausted, my master no longer had use for me. He threw me out with nothing but the scars on my back. A young woman found me in the dirt. She was a dark-skinned woman like me, but she was free. She gave me shelter, nursed me back to health, and found work for me. I didn't mind the low pay or invisibility. I acquiesced in my role willingly, grateful not to be beaten. For many years, I worked very hard, but I was lonely, broken, and deeply afraid. deeply afraid of people. I only drew comfort from carving statues of wood like the ones my grandfather made before I was taken away. One day, the woman saw my carvings and was impressed. She encouraged me to set up a shop for myself. I said no, but she was stubborn and intuitive. The next thing I knew, she purchased a small shop and hung up a sign with my name on the door. For the first time in my life, I was my own boss. This relationship brought forth an ache so vast that I cried. This realization, sorry about that, this realization brought forth an ache so vast that I cried myself to sleep for a year. As I embraced my pain, I grew to love what I did. It was hard work, but it didn't feel like it. My shop thrived, my stomach healed, and my body grew young again. Eventually, I let the woman into my heart. She became my wife. It took us 10 years to save up enough money to return to our homeland and start a new life. The moment my foot stepped on African soil, I looked up at the open sky, inhaled the sweet air, and my entire being relaxed. Then I heard the distant sounds of my people singing and drumming, waiting for us to join them. I looked into the eyes of my beloved and I knew I was home. So that is resolve or redemption, deliverance, release of tension. So as we end here, the card behind, it's called Deliverance, number 40, Deliverance. So this is all about deliverance, redemption, resolving. So what I can take myself from this, can we find the ways in which we are, we've been holding on to places and people and situations that aren't serving us, that we've, lowered ourselves and acquiesced to a situation that we were not happy in. Being in such situations like that slowly eats away at our soul, slowly begins to destroy us. But there comes a moment where, our situation begins to change. And for him, his situation changed on the outside, at least, when the woman rescued him and helped him and kind of helped push him along. But his true deliverance and redemption didn't change until he opened his heart and saw things in a different way and realized that, he was his own boss. I did a post a couple of days ago. I woke up and it was sort of like, don't allow your circumstances or other people to dictate the narrative of your life. We are all in control of the narratives of our own life. And what do you want your narrative to be? It's not always an easy journey. I know for myself personally, I have my ups, I have my downs, I have my middle line that seems just, it's neither up nor down. And that's okay. We honor those moments when they happen. We learn from them. And surely, but surely, you can also look at this card as being deliverance, redemption, releasing tension, allowing yourself to see things from a new perspective, and getting your aha moment. All right, I'm going to have to bring this to a close because I have 3 clients coming this morning, and then this afternoon I will have, hopefully, you know how that happens. Nothing's written in stone until it's written in stone, but I'm going to have a really great guest on around 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, so come check back then. So thank you everyone for being here. Let's take a moment to take a nice deep centering breath. Let's remember our ancestors and all those who have come before us. Thank you. This is Tamu and Ngina, Priestess Heart. I wish you peace and great bliss. Have a beautiful day. Until next time, keep going.